So.
I think that it's a good idea, because we're recording these in advance, that we don't really talk about anything too topical,
all right.
too current, you know, just at the risk of, we don't want our episodes to sound like dated in the future.
It could sound kind of dated.
Yeah.
Right, because we don't know when these things are coming out or when we're going to actually do like a back catalog. And then at the same time, when someone's coming back to it, you know, they're not going to want to sit through an episode that's like, oh, who cares about that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's already happened. It happened ages ago. They know everything about it. So, I think we just avoid.
You seen the new
like
Sonic
that.
Trailer?
Oh my god.
You seen the CGI on that?
This is what we can't do.
He's got kind of human teeth.
This is what we absolutely can't be talking about.
Right. So the Sonic trailer came out recently, and it's sort of a Jim Carrey. You heard of Jim Carrey? You seen The Mask?
Yeah, you've told me about The Mask.
Okay, so that's a classic film. When it comes to like future classic films, I'm kind of having a feeling about the new Sonic film.
That it might be a classic.
You familiar with Dr. Robotnik?
The Eggman.
Yeah, they kind of hint at the end that he becomes the Eggman. We kind of already knew that, kind of going into the trailer, but to see them kind of with the glasses, with the mustache combo, I feel like they couldn't have picked a better actor / artist to portray Robotnik than Jim Carrey himself. He was also in a
Jim Carrey having a triumphant return to slapstick. Yeah.
Right. I think we've had enough of the serious shit. We've had enough of the political drawings. We want to see him as Dr. Egg guy.
Show. Yeah, we want to see him as the Eggman.
Eggman.
Mr. Eggman. Yeah.
As they say, Eggman.
Yeah. Dr. R. Eggman. Yeah.
That's stupid. Hey, welcome to All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
I'm Billy. Hello.
And 15, right?
Our podcast is 15 episodes old.
Wow, 15 years old. I gotta say, when it comes to ages, 15, probably the least memorable for me.
Probably, yeah, kind of really just a fucking in-between age, huh?
I feel like it's just, I mean, and this is just my opinion, I've always said this for years, 15 is in between 14 and 16. It just plain
that's a hot
is.
Take.
Yeah, it sits comfortably right in the middle of the age 14 and 16, and I don't. There's not a
the T.
There's there's not a lot of room to debate here, Hunty. It's actually the number in between,
and those are the fucking facts.
Yeah. Oh, it's scalding. Yeah. It just is.
15 is between the two adjacent numbers.
That's the fucking T for the episode, is that 15 comes between 14 and 16.
Yeah.
No, that age in particular, I was going to say, 14 is very memorable for me. 16 is very memorable for me. Don't really know what I was doing at 15. You know? 15, I was just kind of like, I was just becoming more emo, you know?
Yeah.
It was just kind of that weird in-between phase. 16, I really nailed it. I started to put on the eyeliner. I started to straighten the old hair. I started to wear certain clothes. 15 was kind of the in-between stage.
Yeah, which it was just you gradually kind of sliding into it, but not quite arriving yet.
I guess this is sort of worth mentioning. I was like kind of almost like a bad, like a naughty boy at 15.
But you were?
Yeah, I was like ditching school a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, same. I mean, I was doing my GCSEs, but, and I was predicted to fail all of my GCSEs on account of that I was never fucking in school at all.
And wow, they nailed it.
Excuse you, I got 7 A's and an A star.
Did you?
Yeah.
I was predicted to fail, and they fucking slam dunked that prediction. They really fucking...
It's a prophecy, actually.
The principal alley-ooped that prediction, and I slam dunked it into the fucking...
Straight into the net.
I proved him a fucking medium. I really did.
No, I was a child genius.
Wow.
That nobody believed in. A lovable scamp, actually.
Yeah.
The underdog.
The underdog is what I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand,
Truman.
was the sort of, you thought like, oh, he's kind of broody, he's kind of like, you know, he's not in school a lot, he kind of ditches a lot because he kind of has his own shit going on. He's actually a genius, when in reality I was just like, I was just like hitting 2 rocks together and smelling it. You know, I was just...
You've told me about that.
I've done that a lot.
That sounds like a fake thing, but it's definitely something you've told me before that you did.
Yeah, if you hit 2 rocks together and you smell it, it smells good. It smells almost like...
You've done it to me and made me smell it. And? I can't say that you're wrong.
Yeah, school...
It's the fucked up thing.
School won't teach you that. Okay? You learn that from ditching and hanging out at a park.
You just sitting in a park by yourself, hitting 2 stones together, trying to make fire like a fucking caveman.
And then smelling it and thinking it kind of smells like flint. It kind of smells like fire. I encourage you. I beg you. If you find 2 stones,
find two rocks.
Just kind of clang them together until they get warm. I think that's the cool thing is if you sort of hit them enough, they become a little hot. They become a little warm, and then you smell that. You ever smelled a hot rock?
Guys, you gotta bear in mind, this was pre-smartphones, okay?
Yeah, this is all we fucking had. You're so lucky to be able to fucking scroll.
Scrolling, if you will.
You know how you flick down your smartphone to see the other posts? We kind of just
flicked 2 stones together.
Yeah, I just kind of flicked the 2 stones together, slammed them together, and smelt them. Yeah,
I
at
really
15
liked that, if you get what I mean. Yeah.
I hearted it. I shared it with my friends. At 15 I started kind of branching out, coming out on my own shell, you know, and started to like ditch school, sometimes alone, sometimes with friends. And I did it actually so much that one time I was not in class, and it was the very rare occasion I was hanging out with somebody new. Man, this is so unlike anything in my life at that point. It was amazing. But I had ditched school, met somebody that same day, and I'm not even joking, I made out with them. It was such a fucking crazy thing that had happened to me. We were just at the park making out, and during that happening, I was like, oh my, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Right, this is my fucking life.
Right at the beginning of that, my dad calls my cell phone, my little flip phone, you know? And I pick up and I'm like, yeah, because I'm like supposed to be in class. And he's like, where are you? And I was like, I'm in class. And he's like, Mitch, where are you? And I was like, I'm at the park. And he was like, I'm coming to get you right now. And,
please no. Please,
and I was
give
like,
me a
Dad,
fucking hour.
Please don't do
understand.
this. Don't do this. And he was just like, Mitch, I'm not joking. You're in trouble. And I was like, Dad, why? It's just ditching one day. Who cares, man? Just go and get me at the end of the day. And he goes, no, your school just called. You're suspended for a week. And I was like, I think I gotta go. And then I leave and he picks me up and he's like, you're in big trouble. And my punishment for that was I had really long kind of hair, and I was like growing it out for a long time since middle school. I had just long hair, and he made me cut it. But since he made me cut it and it was short, I had one of my friends come right after that and make my hair all emo. And then I started straightening my hair even more. And my dad just helped me just
helped you blossom.
Take a giant leap toward my emo phase, you know? He really helped that in a big way.
Really lifted you out of the grunge phase of your life.
It was one of the best things that had ever happened to me. Was him forcing me to cut my hair because it looked goofy long. It was just me wearing beanies and having long hair, and it was just but now it was like shorter and straightened and choppy and all short in the back, and it was the shit. And I started wearing makeup. It was cool. He really helped me out there a lot.
So take that, Dad.
Your little punishment. At 15, you were kind of a scoundrel, troublemaker, little scamp, as you said.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that I was bunking off and still like doing a lot of my physics homework so that I could get that A star, like
right.
But no, I was bunking off a lot. I think that was the year, because that was my last year in school, that I took one of my older friends' college ID that said I was slightly older than I was, said I was 16, and went to a piercer's and got my scaffold piercing.
Oh, okay.
That big old bolt that goes like through 2 holes in my ear. And we weren't allowed any piercings in school. So what I took to doing was like wearing a very wide and very, very not good looking headband that like covered the top of my ear. And one of the rare days that I actually went in, because I think I had art class or something and actually wanted to be there, I was like in a rush because I was late as always and forgot the headband and was like, oh shit. So I kind of tried to just swoop my emo fringe like all the way around my head to cover it up.
It helps sometimes, yeah.
It worked for like maybe an hour or so.
Oh boy.
And then and then it didn't work anymore. And I got suspended for a week. But I was originally only meant to get suspended for like a couple of days for having a piercing. I was meant to just go get it removed and be suspended for a couple of days. But the teacher who told me off for it told me that it looked disgusting. So I, in my infinite wisdom, said, well, your skirt looks disgusting, but I don't say anything about it.
Ooh.
And then got suspended for a further week.
Yeah, that's what happens. You know what's funny is that, like, when you're that age, you think, like, I did something fucking crazy.
I thought it was, like, such a fucking epic own.
Yeah, I owned my teacher, and she's gonna go home and get a fucking divorce now.
Yeah,
like,
but really, she's just like, what a little shit.
Yeah, oh, what a little fucker you are. Go, get away from me.
I'm definitely telling your mom about this.
Adults seriously do not get owned by kids. Like,
no.
Kids really think that they'll just speak up in class, and they're like, and then everyone clapped. The teacher doesn't give a fuck about you. Like, the teacher,
my captain.
Yeah, the teacher really is not. They're so desensitized to anything you think. Mm-hmm. And you're just one of like the 100 students they see that day, so they truly don't give a single fuck about you and have no problem just being like, okay, you're annoying, leave.
Yeah.
Because they're annoyed and you are annoying, and then you had to leave. Mm-hmm. But there was so many instances when I was exactly 15 that I was like, and then I said this to the teacher under my breath. They probably didn't hear me, but it was fucking epic, dude. Like, it was fucking life-changing because you really at that age, you know, you were power. Like, it was the bravest thing you'd ever done at the time.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. God, I thought I was just absolutely the sassiest bitch you'd ever existed. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're convinced that like your teacher was like just fucking went home and thought about that, and they forgot. You know, they already fucking forgot.
They were on their way to lunch already. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that was an example of little rebellious teen me bunking off and then getting suspended on the occasion that I actually went in.
Yeah. Yeah, I really look up to you for being one of those people who just kind of like ditched and did kind of just some general teen fuck shit, but then also turned around and said, also, I'm a good student, you know? Oh, also, I'm smart because that's
surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did a lot of work.
I did no work, and this was at a school that already said, hey, you don't really have to do that more.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, you just have to show up, and I wouldn't even do that. You know? They were like, you literally don't have to bring anything, just show up. You know, because I went to an academy. So they and it wasn't, I mean, that sounds cool and it all, you know, it sounds like a My Chemical Romance music video, but it really was.
Yeah, sounds like Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, it wasn't that type of academy. They just called it an academy because they weren't allowed to say, like.
Bad boy jail.
Yeah, it really did look and feel like a prison. And I went there for like continually failing and flunking out.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and I never really turned that around. I was bad right up until I said, okay, I guess I have enough credits. And they're like, are you coming to the graduation? And then I was like, no, of course not.
Yeah, that's something, is that you had a graduation that you could have gone to though, right?
Yeah, but I was already a year late wrapping up some elective credits. Mm-hmm. And it was at some other academy that was like really small, and the ceremony would have only been like 10 kids. It's just me and the other stupid fucking kids, you know? And I was like, no, I'm definitely not going to this.
Why on earth would I want to go? Yeah. No, we don't get a graduation from high school though.
Right. You don't get, but your high school also ends when you're like 9, so.
We don't get a graduation for anything until you do like a BA though. I had to really earn that stupid square hat.
Yeah, my God, they'll have ceremonies for everything here. Like some elementary
you all love
schools.
to applaud children for doing the bare minimum.
Yes. Oh God. Yes. You know what? I'm actually kind of one of those people who's just like, maybe it's sort of a detriment, because these kids are not that great, and they're kind of starting to think that they are. So yeah, that's probably not good. But yeah, I've seen certain elementary schools that have like little ceremonies where they graduate onto middle school, and I've definitely I was a part of a middle school that had a little like graduation ceremony that I again didn't attend. And why? How come? I don't know. We're just going to the high school now. Yeah, I think in elementary school you learn two things, and one of them is to square dance for some reason, and the other one is
I also had that experience.
Really, you square danced in like the 5th grade?
I learned how to square dance in primary school. I don't know why, but I still vaguely remember it. I don't fucking know. And they like passed it off as like physical education.
Yeah, they fucking made us do it at one of like the assemblies. We had to do it in front of everyone.
Like in front of your parents.
Yeah, they came. They showed up. They watched us square dance. Square dancing in 5th grade is such a fucking funny thing. It's so fucking funny to me. God.
I can't wait till your niece has to do a square dancing thing and we can watch it.
It would just be like full circle. I'd just be, and like, I won't be able to contain myself. I'll have to join because
the instinct will kick in.
As soon as I'll hear the countdown and that music, I'll want to do-si-do with whoever's next to me.
You're suddenly fucking chewing a thing of corn. You're a cowboy Alan.
We chew wheat, excuse you.
Oh,
we chew on a little wheat thing.
You can't chew on a little wheat thing.
No, it'll hurt me.
Immediately get heartburn.
Yeah. That's what's stopping me from being a cowboy or a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
We are almost 20 minutes into the show, so
we absolutely have to do some advice questions.
We have 3 questions to get through.
Yeah.
So we should start them now.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. Before we start that, you want to talk about Patreon a little bit?
Ooh. You so introduced that like it was going to be a plug, like we're sponsored by Patreon. We are not. But we are sponsored by me.
Yeah, our first sponsor. It's Billy's Patreon.
It's me, everyone. It's me and my art trying to make money in the world.
So let's try and cut down on the piss and dick jokes for a little bit, and actually speak about serious art stuff for like, I swear it'll only be like 2 minutes.
It'll be brief. I have just set up a Patreon. I spent a lot of time working on it, and you helped me a ton setting it up with making a very, very beautiful video.
That video is so good.
Yeah, I love the video that we made. It's very beautiful. I would insert it into a podcast if that were possible, but it's not. So I guess you just have to go check our social media. But I have a Patreon now, which is for an ongoing series of art zines that I'm making, which I'm very, very excited about. It's going to be basically, it's photography, it's writing, it is some kind of multimedia stuff that I'm making into some very beautiful and very personal little zines that I'm going to stitch together myself and everything. And yeah, I have a Patreon now. Very exciting.
So if you would find it in you to want to support Billy's art, and again, I'm not going to get too fucking sappy, but Billy is such a good artist and such a fucking helpful part of my life, because it's not just the podcast, it's not just the radio show. We do this because we like talking. We do this because we like talking to one another, and for some fucking reason, some people like to listen to us talk.
Unfathomable, but yeah. And
that is good. It feels very, very good. But the actual art at the end of the day, I mean, from the By Your Side music video on YouTube to the album cover to my newest ambient music release to so many different stuff in the background. Like if you've noticed that Flat Sound has just gotten better in the last 2 years, I guarantee it's largely due to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very, very flattering thing to say. Thank you.
Because it's like I was with you when we were even making like the Valerian t-shirts, you know? Making
the sketches and stuff.
Yeah. And we're really playing with ideas. Hey, like, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do this. And we'll see the outcome of that. And I feel like I'm just so, when you work with another artist and you're with another artist like that often, and you can both be crazy and look at one thing and adjust levels by 3% and say, okay, which one of them feels better? Okay, look away, look back. look away, look back. Which one of the, it's such an important thing because usually I'm around people and if I act that way, I look and feel like I'm out of my mind,
Yeah.
But you and I work on so much art, and the idea that
Which is just tweaking little things to make them better.
Yes, it's all, it's so much, it's so fucking much from the video work to the photography to even just like the amount of work that we put into the podcast and stuff. We love creating, and I think that you're genuinely such an amazing photographer, and you're a really good writer too. And the idea that you have a Patreon now and that people can support you is exciting to me because it's a hard sell. Art is such a hard sell. There's so many people are just like, I love you, I love your work, you're so amazing. And then you're like, cool, do you love it enough to give me $3? And they're just like,
not really.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Which is fine. I mean, like, those people can, it's their money, and they're going to spend it however they want to. Art has always been a hard sell, and it's such a treacherous fucking mountain to walk up each day. But I'm excited to see you do it.
I'm very excited. I am a little I'm excited in almost a nervous energy kind of way, but it's translating into excitement very, very easily. I've never really released anything that has any writing in it.
You're aside a really good writer.
Aside from project descriptions and stuff like that, I've never actually just put out like any kind of creative writing, So this is the first time that I'm going to be doing that. It's not, I'm not putting out fucking novels or anything. It's just going to be to complement the photography, to make it kind of into each scene into its own like coherent, self-contained thing. That's slightly more than just a photo zine. That's slightly more than just a I don't know, a more two-dimensional thing. Yeah. So it's very exciting. I will also say that the Patreon is great and I love it. I like not being a creator, but like I for years and years have had a Patreon supporting account, and I've just I'm signed up to like quite a lot of my friends' things just on like a low tier, and getting to just be regularly updated on the art that I'm helping to support it's so fucking neat. Just like the nicest emails that I get.
Yeah, the idea that Patreon is this bad, evil conglomerate is one of the worst takes that I've heard recently online, but people are just so fucking dumb. How do you fix people that are this fucking stupid? Watch. You'll they're complaining, and I'm not going to get too into it because you and I have talked about this privately so much, but I encourage you to not be one of those people who just passively thinks without putting too much thought into it that Patreon is bad because they're asking for more money up front, or for a slightly higher percentage. Would they raise it by 2-3%?
Something like that, yeah.
When they were already only taking 5%, and anybody that knows anything about any online service knows that 5% is so little. It's so little already. It's such an incredibly low amount. Every time I get paid on Spotify, my distributor is taking 9-10%. 5% is nothing, and I'm living off of Spotify. 5% is so politely nothing. And the creators that were already on Patreon, you included now, it still stays at 5%, and now for new people it's 8%, and we saw people that were literally saying, no, this is the last straw, Patreon is too greedy, I'm sorry, I have to unpledge from all of my artists. I'm gonna unpledge from all of my artists. Oh, it makes me shake thinking that people are that fucking artists, stupid.
You better be setting up a direct debit straight from your fucking bank account into theirs to carry on those payments. Like,
because just to debunk that,
literally just hurt them.
Just to debunk that in the easiest, most straightforward way that I can. Okay, dumb people who think that. Patreon is, yes, raising the percentage from 5% to 8%. That has nothing to do with the artist that you're already pledging to, so it has zero effect on them at all. Their account stays exactly the same. You're choosing to no longer directly support those artists. You're choosing that, not Patreon. You're choosing to de-pledge. Those same artists are begging you, please keep your pledge. Keep pledging. Please, please, please keep pledging. But you're still on some weird political thing that you don't even understand. You're saying no. I'm not going to do it. That was your choice. That wasn't Patreon's choice. It doesn't make any sense. Patreon is a good platform, at least for now.
It is the best platform that independent creators have right now. And
it is. By far the best. Yeah. Because we even saw, not to get into this too much, but we even saw some corny fucking people online saying stuff like, "Hey, let's all band together and make our own Patreon. Just us artists. It's a site made by artists that we." And it's like, okay, first of all, Patreon is already that.
Secondly, you don't know how to build a website.
Yeah, and who are you going to pay to code and build this entire fucking platform? And when you do all of that, you're going to do all of that treacherous work for less than 5%? You can't. You cannot. It's not possible. Hire a team that big to take less than 5%. Get out of here, man.
No.
Ugh. Well, that turned into a Patreon rant, but I swear that Patreon is good. I really like Patreon. I really, really do. It is a good service to me.
I like it. I
stand by
to support independent artists. I like it a lot. And it is the easiest way to do that. Yeah, even if you don't sign up to my Patreon, sign up to someone's Patreon. I mean, you should be
supporting artists who have Patreon, and to you know, if you really care about their art, it's so hard to be an artist. It is so difficult. It's such a thankless career choice too, but it's such an important one. And if you know people who are part of Patreon, you should be supporting them. And we're very, very, very proud to say that now Billy is on Patreon, and that official plug is now, and they can find you at what?
They can find me at patreon.com/BLSSM. Blossom.
BLSSM, or visit any of your social media sites to find that link, or even mine, because I've been talking about it as well. It's the exact same as your website, blossomblssm.org. So just remember that, patreon.com/BLSSM. At least, promise me, guys, at least if you're listening to this, you're going to go to the page and watch the video that we worked really hard on.
Please watch the video. It's so good. I'm so proud of it.
Because that's not going to cost you anything at all. And if you feel...
watch a video. And that's a bit of art right there.
If you feel inclined, consider pledging $1, $3, or picking one of the tiers to actually receive something, a postcard of a
physical zine sent actually in the mail to you.
Yes.
Old school style. Yeah.
So if you're interested in any of that, please go check it out. Patreon.com/BLSSM. And again, please watch the video that we made, because it really is so beautiful.
It's sick. Not to toot our own horns too much, but it's a sick vid.
Anyway, our 2 minutes are up. We did it.
I believe if everyone checks the timestamp, that was in fact, just check. Yep, 2 minutes on the dot.
2 minutes on the, well, it was like, it was 1:56, but we're going to round up to 2, yeah. It'd be funny if I just took all of that audio and I sped it up really quickly to where it's like
it's just unlistenable.
Incomprehensible. Yeah,
no one can understand what we're saying.
Just one wasted giant plug. So yeah, that turned into a little bit of a Patreon rant, but boy, howdy, I am passionate about this stuff, and I can't believe how fucking stupid people are online.
Passionate about art, passionate about making it, and about supporting it.
I'm gonna de-pledge from all of my current artists who are not affected by this new percentage, and I'm gonna take money away from them directly because I'm afraid. Oh my god, people are so fucking stupid. Oh god, they're so dumb. It makes me shake. They're so stupid. Can we get to the first email?
Yes, we absolutely can. Okay, our first email is titled "A Tough Nut Indeed."
Nice.
So it goes. Stop.
Very good. Tell me more.
It goes, "Hello, Mick and Biffy. Love it.
Very sick.
I'm finding myself in quite a tough nut. I got that good old-fashioned agoraphobia and dealing with it fairly well. I tend to just keep myself in my apartment, but I enjoy interacting over the web too much for my own good. I was on Twitter," that hell site, huh? There's your mistake. You're on Twitter.
That's what's keeping you agoraphobic. Take it from me.
It's the blue site. I was on Twitter and noticed a mutual follower, someone I knew from high school for being less than decent, making some very crummy sexist remarks, and I just had to slap him with a quick burn because, well, I just couldn't resist. Everyone took my side in the situation, except for him, of course. Yes, of course. Except for him, so of course, and his gang. When I say gang, I mean like-minded cronies. I'm not dealing with Al Capone here. Anyways, they really took offense to me just calling him out on it, and now they're looking for me, I guess? I feel powerful in the seclusion of my apartment, but it's a small town. So what I'm wondering is this. Should I get a gargoyle for home defense? Graciously yours, Gargoyle Boy.
All right, Gargoyle Boy. Yes, get the gargoyle, live up to your name. At very least, you'll continue to feel safe inside of your home. As far as leaving the house, yeah, they're probably going to kick your ass. So just be on the lookout for that. I'm not saying don't leave your house, continue working through the agoraphobia, but just know that there's a good old-fashioned ass beating waiting for you on the other side.
If you could just kind of go outside, like dressed like kind of head to toe in kind of ice hockey gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you familiar with the concept of a bear suit?
I'm not.
Okay, so a bear suit is, I mean, I guess you're just going to have to Google it. Actually, will you Google it really quick?
I can Google bear.
So look up the bear suit, and from what I remember of me being a kid, it's essentially just like a full...
It's all fursonas.
Oh, is it really?
No, it's not.
Okay, that was going to be really... I was like, wow, that makes sense, because I haven't looked it up since like 2006, so it might all be fursonas now, which would have been cute, because it would have been like that thing where it's like, I used to just Google house show, like, to see like indie bands playing house shows, because I used to just like, when I was like 14 years old, I would look at those pictures and just get really inspired. And then a certain point hit where you couldn't do that anymore without just seeing pictures of the show House. Isn't that funny?
I thought you were going to say like house shows like Property Brothers or something, but no, just the show House.
House show. It's the show House.
That's really funny.
Which is pretty funny. Anyway, a bear suit is kind of like, from what I remember, it's kind of this full body armor suit that you can survive a bear attack in, basically.
I mean, not what's coming up, but I believe you.
Maybe I'm making that up. I swear I saw it on TV in like 2004. And it was this guy that was repeatedly getting like fucking hit by cars, you know, in this bear suit. You're not seeing any of it?
It's just bear costumes.
Huh.
Everything's just bear costumes.
Bear and the
occasional
suit.
bear in a suit.
Well, at least it was worth it for that alone.
I mean, I'm having a great time.
Anyway, just pick up one of these bear suits that are very easy to find online. And
you're really gonna have this man walking around in a fucking fairy costume.
Yes. Gets his ass kicked for a whole other reason.
Yeah, that'll stop you getting beat up.
That'll quell the bullies.
Yeah. That'll take care of the sexists.
I'll show them.
Sexists famed for being tolerant of furries.
Everyone, yeah. Everyone suddenly is now not on your side. No, I do think that it's really, really funny that this person is just like, so I gave him a sort of a sick burn, and everyone was kind of on my side except for him about it. He actually took a bit of offense.
Of course
he did.
It's like, yeah, you hit him with a sick burn. He was like, I've seen the error of my ways, thank you.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever just like burned somebody online and they were like, oh shit, you're right?
Yes.
That's happened to me too.
It has, actually. Yeah. Not where it's like a really, really obvious burn, but like where I've kind of called someone out and been like, hey, you're kind of being a fucking, you know, whatever kind of dick you're being.
Right.
You know, you're being,
and these are the reasons.
Yeah, you're being kind of fucking misogynist right now.
Yeah.
And they're like,
even though in the response you're kind of talking to them in a, you know, condescending. Sort of condescending way.
Yeah, well, yeah, when I say that I kind of gently call them out on their misogyny, it's actually just a picture of me kind of sipping from a mug that says male tears on it.
Right, yeah.
And I just insert that picture.
And they're like, shit.
And that really changes hearts and minds.
I guess I am bad. I guess I'm bad and you're good. And this is the proof of that. I've had really progressive conversations with people that it's just like, you get a little petty when you're kind of online, when you're behind a keyboard and you're just like, hey, you know, sometimes it's like, hey, I really, you know, especially when you're talking to friends, you're just like, hey man, I love you, but I think that there's a lot of error here in what you're blah, blah, blah. I'd like you to consider this or that, you know, blah, blah, blah. But when you're just talking to a stranger, you're like, all right, dumbass, here's why you're
the
stupid.
Fucking lowdown.
Yeah, here's something I know that I didn't always knew, and you haven't learned yet. And Yeah.
Sometimes it works.
And sometimes that actually does kind of work. I'd like to
Yeah.
stop myself from ever doing that again, though. It probably isn't the right way to change minds. But yeah, you burn this person. Them and their little cronies are just like, we're gonna womp. What's a good 80s kind of 80s bully language? I'm not gonna say womp. That's like more 90s recess era stuff.
We're gonna kind of I don't know, stuff him in a locker, I guess.
Yeah, but like, what's the terminology that like an 80s bully would use in like a classic 80s film?
You're only asking me this because my name is Billy, which is the name of every 80s bully in a film.
Right.
And I don't know.
Yeah, so what would you say?
I don't know.
I like how in old films like that, you'll see like anytime there's like a much older sister, she's like a teenager, but she looks like 27 years old. And then there's like a younger brother, and he's like legitimately 9. They like hate each other so much, and she's just like, "Get out of my face, barf breath, ew, fucking snot muncher." Yeah, it's always things like that, and it's like, just call him a fucker. Like, what is it with this weird language? Are you Christian? What is this? Like, what? Barf breath. Get out of here. Anyway, yeah, this person's gonna get their ass kicked. Get the gargoyle.
Get the gargoyle. Really, really lean into the kind of Beast from Beauty and the Beast kind of lifestyle. Get as many gargoyles as possible.
Lean into the lifestyle of the Beast. Just become very more agoraphobic, and then even ashamed of your appearance if you can. Start hating who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hate who you've become on a physical level.
Kind of develop a range of anger issues.
Right.
But really surround yourself by gargoyles at the same time.
Capture a woman if you can.
Yeah. Eventually, fight this Twitter sexist on the roof of your castle amongst the gargoyles and accidentally kind of push him to his death.
Hey, so Beauty and the Beast was that girl? Was she trapped in the castle with him, or in his big old? Was it a castle?
She was trapped, and then he let her go, and then she came back.
Yeah, she got a bit horny, didn't she?
Yeah, she developed both Stockholm syndrome and a kind of troubling beast fetish. Yeah,
that's fucked up. And then Hunchback of Notre Dame. He was. You gotta admit, he was ugly.
Now we have to, wait, before. Yeah. I wish I could have stopped you before you finished that sentence, because you do have to bear in mind that his home did just burn down. So
weird of you to take shots at him like
his
that.
home did. So rude of you to kick him while he's down, I would say.
Okay, first of all, hold on, let's stop here. Not to make any jokes about the terrible thing that just happened, but if upon seeing the footage, someone's response was Quasimodo, would it have banged on Twitter?
That definitely was people's response, and it definitely kind of got a lot of likes, but had a bad ratio of replies of people I wouldn't
have been brave enough to fucking tweet that, because like there were already the really annoying people being like, this is so aesthetic.
Yes.
Of it burning to the fucking ground. Like, I cannot believe people. This episode's dedicated to just how fucking dumb Twitter is. Like, I just can't believe people sometimes.
That's so aesthetic.
God, it really makes me shake. It really does. It's okay. so bad.
It's okay. It's all right. We don't have to log on. It's fine.
I do have to log on sometimes.
It's my job.
It is unfortunately part of my career, is to be logged into the system.
Oh, God.
We're like running way out of time. We got 2 more emails to go through, so it's probably going to be a longer episode, but let's do it.
Ooh, okay.
I have an email right here. Oh, also, last things of advice. I have no serious advice for this person, but I never do. So I just like the emails that are funny to me, which is why we pick them. Really especially funny how they're just like, everyone agreed except this guy had kind of a problem with me for calling him out publicly, and now he wants to kick my ass. And it's like, yeah, that sucks. I hope he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't. I hope you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was cool of you for being righteous and for calling that out, and especially cool of you because I'm sure that felt good, like when everyone was like, yeah, you're right. But yeah, that's just this person is mad at you now. So what are you gonna do? They'll be less mad at you over time, and I don't think they're actually gonna kick your ass.
Nah, they'll be all right.
So we got an email here called Roommate Disagreements, and then parentheses featuring body fluids, which is why I'm reading it.
Yeah, which is a great way to get our attention in the subject line.
It says, "Hi, Billy and Mitch." We're not going to get into that too much, but it is what it says. So let's leave it at that. Hi, Billy and Mitch. I know everyone hates hearing about roommate disagreements, but I'm finding myself in a bit of a pickle. Due to my work schedule, I go to sleep at about 1 a.m. I usually have to get up and use the bathroom sometime before I fall asleep. One of my roommates keeps a very strict schedule of going to sleep at 8 p.m. and waking up at 5 a.m. He has complained more than once that my late night trips to the bathroom wake him up. It bothered him so much that he even suggested this is so stupid. He even suggested I change my sleep schedule to match his so I don't have to go pee at night. The sound of the toilet flushing isn't very loud. I've figured out where all the creaky floorboards are so I can avoid them, and I don't even drink water before bed. Basically, I've tried my very best to be as considerate as possible. My other roommate has no problem with me using the bathroom at night, and it never wakes her up. Do I confront my roommate? Do I listen to him and try and match his sleep schedule? Do I just start pissing the bed out of spite? Please help.
Okay, so yes. Next question, the last bit. Do it.
Yeah, it's I was gonna say you kind of answered your own question there at the end. Piss your bed out of spite, and then he'll be complaining about the smell.
My favorite part of this email by far is when they say that the roommate whose sleeping schedule is 8 p.m. till 5 a.m. suggested that you match his.
You adapt that. Your roommate was like, "Hey, I have an idea. Adopt the sleep schedule of a 6-year-old." That's the answer to this. That's what and. Like, this person specifically was like, due to my work schedule, I go to sleep when I do. Yes. Due to my work schedule. Yes. So what? So
they want you to go to sleep at 1 a.m. and then wake at 5 a.m. But I don't know. I just don't know. That's insane. I love how the roommate is like, oh, well, you're slightly inconveniencing me by occasionally waking me up with the toilet flushing. So I'd like to not inconvenience you at all by just suggesting that you wake up at 5 in the fucking morning.
Yeah, at good old 5 a.m.
What the fuck? This is really bad. It sounds like you're being like the most considerate person. It's like you're like avoiding floorboards. You're not drinking water.
You're like, you're literally tiptoeing through the halls, being like, I know which one of these fuckers creaks. The toilet, flushing isn't very loud and something or other. I would honestly just be like, dog, people have to pee at night. That's just what happens sometimes. Sometimes people have to pee at night, and I would get them just some fucking earplugs or something. Get them
some fucking earplugs. Yes,
yeah. If it bothers you that
it's
much,
definitely here's a him problem and not a you problem.
Here's an Amazon gift card. You can use it to buy some earplugs. Actually, there's like $20 on it. You could probably get a cheap little like a noise machine, like a white noise machine.
Yeah, you can kind of use it to kind of buy a dildo and go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself with it. Yeah,
fuck yourself with it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's this thing. You can get sort of like if you go to the hardware store, they usually have kind of like an agriculture section sometimes, and they sell like really cheap. You can get like a whole pound of manure, and you can eat shit and die. How about that? you can. Yeah, I would tell this roommate to just go fuck himself. I'd be like, dude, I'm tinkling. People tinkle at night.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like, okay, so it's like, okay, it's either I'm going to pee on, or I don't flush, which I mean environmentally sound. So
yeah, you could for sure not flush.
But I feel like that's worse. I don't like waking up to someone else's piss.
Yeah.
No.
Even if they're like family and stuff like that, I know it's better than the environment. But if there's just like yellow pee in the toilet, I'm just like, great.
Great. I've got mixed mine with this. No, thank
perfect. You. Yeah. No way. We're not that close. I'm gonna do
Not
a
that
quick.
close with anyone.
I'm gonna do a quick Google search for bedpan, and see if we can. Amazon bedpans. Yeah.
This is
So really
this is
not
where
that
we announce
expensive.
our affiliate links to
Yeah.
bedpans.
This is a new merch run I'm doing. Any piss babies out there wanna? Yeah. Have you been listening to Flat Sound so much that you don't want to leave the bed? Hey, there you go. Shit and piss in this. Hey, that's a cool sentence. Shit and piss in this.
There we go. That's our marketing slogan.
The last episode was Bitch and Mitch in the kitchen. Wait, no, that was a radio broadcast I did with Alex.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bitch and Mitch
Not
in the
me,
kitchen.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, there wasn't a podcast. That was a broadcast. But this one is. Oh, I already forgot it. What was it? Piss and shit in this.
Piss and shit in this. Shit and piss in this.
Shit and piss in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a cool slogan. I wonder if any of these bedpans are. If they need a new slogan, I'll sell them this one for like $20. I really will. Shit and piss in this. Piss in this.
Good.
Okay.
For the small price of $20.
Last question.
Okay. Okay. Worth bearing in mind. Not a question.
Oh, last email. Last thing that we're reading. Oh, it's that Daniel thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the thing on our list.
Okay.
That is the third thing on our list. Yeah.
It's going to be a especially long episode then because we're going to do some editing at the end of this one.
Okay. Well, I don't know how long the episode has been because I don't know how to work logic.
We're at about 50 minutes, just under 47.
Okay. All right. So our last thing on the checklist is our email from Daniel. How do we get into this?
I don't know. There's a lot to unpack here, but I guess let's just... Daniel wrote back and let us know that they, in fact, do pronounce their name like this. I'm going to edit a clip of it right here.
It's pronounced Daniel. My name is Daniel.
So it is Daniel.
It is Daniel.
They sent us a clip that was weirdly very well recorded. Like
it sounded beautiful.
Yeah, I'm kind of a stickler for audio quality, and that was like, it just wasn't like, a phone clip that's sent to us through a broken email link or something. Like it was it really was just a pristine clip. And then they mentioned somewhere in the clip that they work at a radio station.
Yeah. And that they were doing it at work. Get back to fucking work.
So there you go. How are you even pulling that off at work? You're just like recording them into their microphones and then just like sending the file to yourself? Why?
They actually did it live on air.
Yeah, this was part of their broadcast that they were doing. Yeah, I kind of want to check out Daniel's radio show now, and there's a proper plug for it at the end of this podcast if you want to listen to that.
There is.
So, did Daniel say anything worth reading in the email, or are we just going to get into the audio clips that they sent us?
Well, basically, all Daniel said was, "Hey y'all, the first recording is my name and an explanation of it. I say it several times. The first few times, you can hear my mouth making banana noises. The second recording is just some other info. That's all they said. They just said that it was just some other info."
Now, the other info is especially funny because it is what I can only describe of 3 minutes of Daniel doxing himself.
In great detail.
In so much detail that it's like they're giving away their phone number, personal address, and mother's maiden name. And I'm very surprised that they didn't and I would not like to give Daniel any ideas, but kind of slip in their social security number in there somewhere. I was almost shocked. And in fact, if I go back and listen to it, that might be in there as well, because there was a lot of information at once. How did you feel about the audio that Daniel sent?
It's hard to put into words.
Yeah, I'm weirdly haunted by it.
At the same time, I can't stop thinking about it, but also deeply want to forget it. I'd
give money to stop it replaying in my head. So here's what I'm gonna do. When we say goodbye, the outro music is gonna fade as it normally does, but then I'll play all of Daniel's clip, but I'm gonna, and I'm sorry, Daniel, I know you really get off on the idea of being doxxed, I guess, but I've thought about this over the last like couple days. I'm gonna censor out the important information. I'm just gonna censor it during the crucial parts.
Of course.
I just feel too bad being involved in an honest to goodness doxing. But
obviously,
there is a good plug of Daniel's radio thing at the end there, because
a very good and professional one.
Yeah, it sounded really good, and I'm actually I'm enticed, if you can imagine it.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit enticed, and I kind of want to check out the radio show. Because they broadcast like every week, or I don't know, something like that. The info's in the docs, so I guess we'll all just listen to that at the end. Again, after this episode ends, after the outro music fades, at the very end of this, whether you're watching it on YouTube or listening to it on Spotify or anything like that, there is, stay tuned for a clip if you are interested in Daniel.
A bonus track, if you will.
Yeah, a hidden track.
Yeah.
Hidden track of our boy Daniel, an honest to goodness listener. Doing some weird shit that I don't quite understand, but we're going to play it anyway.
Yeah. We're gonna put it in there because we just don't know what the fuck else to do with this audio file.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
A burden shared is a burden halved, and a burden shared on a podcast is a burden split by the thousands.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, speaking of increments of 1,000,
where is this going?
Speaking of increments of 1,000, I just wanted to thank the people for subbing to the new YouTube channel. We did, in fact, hit the 1,000 sub mark. We
did. Yeah, very cool, very sick.
I wasn't actually expecting us to. I thought it was going to slow down fully, but people are subbing to the channel, and they seem to have liked the looped footage. So, and I do mean this, guys. If you're listening to this podcast at all, if you're listening to it via YouTube or via I guess Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or Spotify or straight through our website, any bit of that helps us. It doesn't matter what your preference is, but please continue to listen, tell a friend, send us positive reviews, leave a positive comment on YouTube, leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, continue listening on Spotify, but above anything, tell your friends, please
tell your friends, and please just keep on listening. Yeah, that is they're the most helpful things to us, and we love it. We love it so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that said, let's do our ending plugs, and then we're done because we're about at the 50-something minute mark, and which means we're over. We are over. So thank you so much for listening to All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
I have been Billy.
I have been Billy.
I will continue to be Billy.
I've been
for
known
some time.
For being Billy. If you would like to listen to more episodes of this podcast, you can visit our official website at
allthespaceinbetween.com. And if you want to email us your pickles to respond to on the show, you can email us at
allthespaceinbetween@gmail.com. And you can find all that information on the website, or you could be listening on YouTube. Now we are, in fact, coming up. If you just search All the Space in Between on YouTube, we're very hard to miss. Just look us up, sub to the channel if you want to. It all goes up at the same time, and I believe that is all.
One last plug.
Yes.
To go look at my Patreon and go watch the video. Please, if you watch anything, go watch the video that we made. And it's really beautiful, and I love it a lot.
Consider it a personal favor to us. Please watch the video because Billy really did work hard on it. We worked on the script together. It's all of Billy's footage. I helped a little bit, but she was just like, hold the camera and do this. And I go, yes, ma'am.
You did so good at holding the camera, though.
And then I even did the music for the background, and I helped her with the voiceover work.
Some beautiful piano. Yeah.
And we did all the voiceover work and edited it, and I think that you did an amazing job, and us working together is always a lot of fun and always really cool. So please check out that video. If anything else, it won't cost you a single dime. But if you do feel even
if you have some dimes, if you got some spare dimes,
if you have at least 10 of those dimes, I would suggest pledging $1 or any of the tiers if you want to receive something. And consider supporting the art.
I would love that. So again, you can find that at patreon.com/BLSSM Blossom. Very good. Okay. And that is it.
That is all. So thank you again for listening. We will talk to you next week. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dear Willie and Blanche, hello, my name is Daniel. My birthday is February 1st, 1997. I am an Aquarius. I am 22 years old. My address in Northern California is California. My address in Southern California is California. My mother's maiden name is. Once when I was a child, I drowned and became unconscious inside of a pool. Whether or not I briefly died and came back once I was resuscitated is unknown. I love camping. I've been to Yosemite more times than I can count. It's been a while since I've been in a relationship, and I'm not explicitly looking for something monogamous, but it's something I would be more than happy to try out right now. I'd also love to do some more exploring. Yes, I'm bisexual. I can drive, but I can't do math. And yes, most cis men terrify me. I'm 5'7", if that matters to any of y'all. It doesn't to me, but I understand why it would to others. I'm Mexican-American, but I'm not Chicano. I hate nationalism and I hate binaries. I can't burp unless I gag myself, and I have constant stomach aches. I love history and I love film, and unfortunately I also love podcasts. I work in radio, sound editing, and recording. My ideal day is a mild winter morning in Southern California. My ideal date is a nice walk in a metropolitan area finding activities to do as we walk through the streets. I'm both a fan and not a fan of physical touch. I contain multitudes. I love to support and be supported by those closest to me. I've always wanted to adopt an aging greyhound and an elderly cat at the same time, watching them grow old together and eventually die wrapped in the arm of one or the other. I don't drink or smoke anymore. But as I said, with the right person, I am open to further exploration. I was raised Catholic, but I'm more of a deist or a pantheist these days. Sundays are still hard, though. One time when I was 3 or 4 years old, I accidentally suffocated and killed a puppy inside of a backpack. If you're interested in getting to know me more, email me at dmarti44@ucsc.edu or text me at. My family nickname is Neche, which I earned from an inability to properly pronounce the Spanish word for milk, leche, in my infancy. I constantly am sleepy, and I've been known to fall asleep on long drives. And yes, I do mean when I am driving. If you like the sound of my voice, you can listen to me program music on my radio show from 7 to 8 p.m., Friday evenings on 88.1 FM, KZSC Santa Cruz, or on kzsc.org/listen. If you are interested in being interviewed for podcasting or the radio, please contact me at talk@kzsc.org, and I'll try my best to get back to you. Thanks for tuning in to KZSC. I've been your host, Daniel Martinez, and I'll see you next week.